Hi everybody, my name is Heather Finley and I am here with my June book wrap-up. June was another really good reading month. I read 7 books, I believe. Yeah, and quite a few of them were pretty long books again, so let's dive into it. The first one I read was In the Woods by Tana. This is a mystery of a missing child case. And our main detective was part of a missing children's case when he was little. One of my cats just walked in. Tempe. Yeah, this book had an interesting enough concept, but honestly, I did not love the book. The main character was horrible. I hated him, and I know he wasn't supposed to be likable, but it was so bad that I just struggled through. It was really long. There was a lot of excess. Ooh, both kitties are in here. There's a lot of excess information and whatnot, so it could have been edited to be a lot better. The eventual twist that happened, I think, was very good and interesting, and I wish they would have just focused more on that instead of so much focus on this main detective that was just so unlikable. After that, I finished The Girls by Emma Klein. This book has been on a lot of must-read books lately because it is a cult story, kind of loosely based off of Charles Manson. Our main character is a young girl that gets sucked into the cult stuff. This book to me, oh, hey Darrow. This book to me was interesting because even though it was the cult setting, to me it was a lot more about young sexuality. It was a LGBT plus novel, more or less, kind of. So, yeah, the cult stuff, I could have, I would have liked a little bit more of it, but the book was interesting. I kind of actually compare it to more like Middlesex or something like that, theme-wise. So, yeah, I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5 or something like that. After that, I finished 2 by 2 by Nicholas Sparks. This is a story about a father going through divorce, and as usual, kind of the story, hey buddy, you just really want to be on camera. Whoa! Oh, I guess you guys get Darrow's face for a while I describe this book. Kitty, move your butt. 2 by 2, yeah, so the main guy is a father kind of dealing with divorce and dating again and stuff. This book really surprised me. At first it seems a lot different than previous Nicholas Sparks books, but by the time it came around to kind of what was happening in it, it hit me so hard. I bawled my eyes out. It ended up probably being one of my top, 3rd Nicholas Sparks books. And yeah, again, it had LGBT plus themes in it, so that was awesome, and I liked the way he addressed it, kind of the family finding out that someone in their family was not straight, and then it was a church family, and they basically were like, well, if the church doesn't agree, whatever, we love our daughter, and we're gonna stick behind her. So it was just a really cool theme to see in one of his books, so yeah, thumbs up. After that, I did the audiobook of Packing for Mars by Mary Roche? What's her last name? Yeah, this was really good. It's a in-depth investigation into what goes into space travel. So very interesting. I always love space travel stuff. Oh, kitty. You just fell down. Yeah, I would recommend any of her books. I do really like them. She's not my favorite investigative writer. That title still goes to Alexandra Robbins, but yeah, I still totally enjoy her writing. The next one after that was Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King. This is the king of horrors. New-ish, I guess all the books are out now, but it is a crime-solving trilogy. Do you want to be on film too, Tim? Come here. Oh, all the kitties. Yeah, so we have our main detective is actually retired, but his case that got away kind of gets hold of him to toy with him and play with him and whatnot. And this story is very messed up, which, I mean, is kind of what you expect from Stephen King, but really good. I really liked the characters. I really liked the development of the bad guy. You find out who the bad guy is just kind of from the start, but you get so much in depth on why he is that way and his just messed up way of thinking. And yeah, this book is great. I can't wait to read the rest of the trilogy. And then I finished the audiobook for Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. It was so good. So good. He's just, I mean, is everybody in the world in love with him? Because you should be. Yeah, astrophysics, just explaining the science of space. So not only did I get this month, like, how humans go into space, but also kind of a why we should be going into space and what we should be looking into. And I really liked the chapter that was kind of, if aliens were looking for us, what signals we were sending out already with, you know, what kind of pollution we have, what kind of radio waves we have, different things, whether or not they would catch their attention. Darrow, what are you getting into now? Cats are so naughty. After that, the last book I finished of the month was The Chemist by Stephenie Meyer. This is her adult, kind of, what would you call it? Not espionage, what am I looking for? Not spy, but a, what would you call that? Our main character is someone who chemically tortures people. Honestly, you know how there's all those jokes like, still a better love story than Twilight? I don't hate Twilight. I'm not hating on Twilight. But going on that logic, this is a worse love story than Twilight. The love story was so extraordinarily dumb and insta-love and over the top, and it totally took away from the story. I think it could have been a decent enough novel without that. I wish she would have gone for the hate turning into love aspect. It's so much better. But yeah, this book just was painful, which is really sad because I loved the host, so I had really high hopes for this, but I would not recommend this one. So yeah, there we go. So June was good. I don't know, I guess the books were kind of some of them, but there was some good ones in there. And I've already finished a few books for July too, so I think July is going to be a really good read month, even though I'm going to be down at San Diego Comic-Con for a week, so probably won't get much reading done then. What have you guys been reading? What are you going to read next? And yeah, leave some comments on maybe some book recommendations and stuff. Talk to you guys later. Bye!